Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to share one of the most painful and unexpected experiences I have had since living in Canada. This happened in mid-May this year, and honestly, it became one of the worst health experiences I have ever gone through. For me personally, it was even worse than getting COVID. I'm sharing this story because poison ivy is very common in North America, and many people, especially newcomers, may not know how serious it can be. If my experience can help even one person avoid what I went through, then making this video will be worth it. Everything started with what I thought was a simple mosquito or bug bite on my ankle. One day, my ankle became itchy and slightly swollen. Since I spent time gardening and being outdoors, I didn't think much of it. At first, I used some home remedies and medicated oils that I had used many times before without any problems. But instead of getting better, my ankle became worse and worse. The itching became intense, the swelling increased, the redness spread, and over the following days, new red rashes started appearing on different parts of my body. At that point, I was confused because I had no idea what was causing it. I had already booked an appointment with my family doctor, but the earliest available time was about a week away. Unfortunately, my symptoms became much worse before that appointment. The itching was driving me crazy. I couldn't focus properly or sleep comfortably. I was constantly thinking about scratching. The swelling on my ankle became severe and more rashes appeared. Because of how serious it became, I went to a walk-in clinic. The first doctor thought it was a skin infection. I was prescribed medication. However, the symptoms continued. One of the scariest moments happened during the worst stage of my reaction. One night, the itching was so intense that I woke up and got out of bed to apply anti-itch cream. At that same time, I felt hungry, so I went to the kitchen to get something to eat. While I was in the kitchen, I suddenly fainted and fell to the floor. Later, I saw another doctor. Again, the diagnosis was different. The treatment still didn't solve the problem. Finally, after seeing a third doctor, I received the correct diagnosis. I wasn't dealing with a bug bite or a simple infection. I was having a severe reaction to poison ivy. Honestly, I was shocked. I never expected poison ivy could cause so much suffering. For those who are not familiar with it, poison ivy is a plant commonly found throughout North America. The plant contains an oil substance called urushiol. Urushiol is the real problem. When this oil touches your skin, it can trigger an allergic reaction. Some people have only mild symptoms. Others can develop severe rashes, swelling, blisters, and intense itching. The scary part is that you don't even have to touch the plant directly. The oil can stick to clothing, shoes, gardening gloves, tools, pet fur, sports equipment, outdoor furniture. If the oil remains on these surfaces, you can continue exposing yourself over and over again without realizing it. I have a green belt and wooded area behind my backyard. I spend a lot of time gardening and working outside. Although I cannot be 100% certain, I strongly suspect that I came into contact with poison ivy somewhere in that area. Looking back now, I may have brushed against the plant without noticing, or the oil may have been transferred onto my clothing. What surprised me is that I didn't see an obvious plant or immediately realize anything had happened. The reaction developed gradually. That's one reason poison ivy can be so deceptive. Many people hear about poison ivy and think it is just a small itchy rash. That was not my experience at all. For nearly 3 weeks, I dealt with constant itching, swelling, red rashes, skin irritation, difficulty sleeping, physical discomfort, mental exhaustion. The itching was especially difficult. Imagine having an itch that keeps demanding your attention all day long. Even when you know scratching will make things worse, it's extremely hard to resist. I was tired, frustrated, uncomfortable, and worried because I didn't know what was happening. When I finally received the correct diagnosis and the proper medication, I started feeling better. But recovery was not immediate. Even today, I am still not fully recovered. One helpful rule people often use is leaves of 3, let it be. Poison ivy usually has 3 leaflets, growing from a single stem. The leaves can be green in spring and summer, yellow, orange, or red in fall, shiny or dull, smooth or slightly toothed. It can grow as a low plant, a shrub, a climbing vine. Because the appearance can vary, it is a good idea to learn what poison ivy looks like in your local area before spending time outdoors. This is extremely important. The sooner you act, the better. If you think you may have touched poison ivy, wash your skin as soon as possible. Use soap and cool water. Clean underneath your fingernails. Wash all clothing immediately. Clean shoes, gloves, gardening tools, and anything else that may have contacted the plant. Bathe pets if they may have been exposed. Remember, the urushiol oil can remain on objects for a surprisingly long time. If you don't remove it, you may keep exposing yourself repeatedly. One mistake is assuming it is just a mosquito bite or minor skin irritation. Another mistake is continuing to wear contaminated clothing. A third mistake is delaying medical attention when symptoms become severe. I learned all of these lessons the hard way. Because I didn't know poison ivy was involved, I continued normal activities and didn't immediately eliminate possible sources of exposure. Looking back, I wish I had known what to look for earlier. Please seek medical attention if the rash is spreading rapidly, the swelling becomes severe, the rash covers a large area of your body, your face or eyes are affected, you develop signs of infection, over-the-counter treatments are not helping, the symptoms are becoming unbearable. There is no need to suffer unnecessarily. Proper diagnosis and treatment can make a huge difference. My biggest lesson from this experience is simple. Never underestimate poison ivy. Before this happened, I thought poison ivy was just an annoying plant that caused a little itching. Now I know it can seriously affect your quality of life. For almost a month, the itching and discomfort controlled my daily routine. It affected my sleep, my mood, and my ability to enjoy normal activities. That's why I wanted to share this story. If you live in Canada, the United States, or anywhere in North America, please take poison ivy seriously. Learn how to identify it. Wear gloves and protective clothing when gardening. Wash everything after outdoor activities. And if something doesn't seem right, don't hesitate to seek medical advice. I'm very grateful that I finally received the correct diagnosis and treatment, and I'm slowly recovering. If you have ever had a poison ivy experience, please share your story in the comments below. Your experience might help someone else. Please share this video with anyone who gardens, hikes, or has children who play outdoors. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.